Well, hi, everybody. Good Wednesday morning. To meteorologist Travis Klineski as we start things off this morning. The winds out of the southeast for most of us are not terribly strong this morning. They'll get just a little breezy today in central and eastern Nebraska. Cloud cover has been increasing from the southwest over the last couple of hours. We will continue to see increasing clouds through the day today. By late this afternoon, after about 3 o'clock, but anytime late this afternoon from 3 to 6 o'clock, slight chance of light rain. Meanwhile, there is an area of low pressure southwest of Kearney. And that's basically sitting about right here. There's our low pressure system with the counterclockwise rotation. Okay, draw that out right there. Meanwhile, there's also a cold frontal boundary that's going to be diving southeastward right there. So we've got a couple of things we're watching here now. As we take you through the early evening hours, rain becomes more widespread. That low pressure will be sitting right over top of the Tri-Cities, right around the Hastings area here. So there's our low right there. So it's moved a little bit closer to the Tri-Cities. Our cold front, that's basically situated right over top of that low pressure system, continue to move southeastward. That's going to start to draw in cold air. So once you get that front coming through your area, you're going to get some strong north and northwesterly winds behind that front, and that's going to drive in colder air. Now, ahead of this frontal boundary, there could be thunder and lightning. I'll indicate that with a lightning bolt. I know I'm drawing a lot of things here. I'll get rid of them here in just a bit. So thunder and lightning along with the rain showers ahead of that frontal boundary. Meanwhile, yes, snow could be possible back towards the west and northwest. So we're going to be changing over from rain to snow back towards the west as that colder air gets drawn in thanks to those strong winds out of the north and northwest. As we get further into the evening hours, again, maybe some thunder and lightning off to the east. We're starting to get colder. The winds are getting blustery out of the north and northwest behind that front in the Tri-Cities. Rain's transitioning over to snow here. We're going to see a pocket of snow that could be heavy enough to accumulate here. We could be seeing some accumulating snowfall in these areas right here especially. Most places will not pick up over an inch of snow, but there's going to be a couple of isolated locations that do pick up possibly a little bit over an inch of snowfall here. Getting further into the nighttime hours now, the air starts to get cold enough that we may transition over to snow in the Tri-Cities, but at the same time, all the precipitation is getting out of here. So our chances of snow are pretty limited. Maybe a few flakes flying, no accumulating snow expected in the Tri-Cities, but still some accumulating snow possible up to the north. And at the same time, there could be some thunder showers in southeast portions of Nebraska. As we get towards tomorrow morning, most of the precipitation is done by 7 o'clock. Strong north and northwest winds are driving in that colder air, so it's going to be chilly and blustery to begin our Thursday, and it's going to stay that way throughout the day tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sun. Blustery winds, they'll start to calm back towards the end of the day tomorrow. But it will be a chilly day for our Thursday ahead of our next precipitation chance, which is going to come late Thursday night and Friday. It looks like a very, very weak system that's not going to bring us much of anything, mainly affecting southern Nebraska and northern Kansas. And again, that would be a round of minimal precipitation, barely worth a mention, but I had to mention it because there might be some precipitation, but I don't think it's going to be much. But with this system that we're going to see come through later today and tonight, how much snow are we talking? Well, again, most forecast models are an inch or less, but there's going to be a swath somewhere in there that picks up over an inch of snowfall. There is somewhere locally an inch to 2 inches of snow, maybe slightly higher amounts, up even over 2 inches would not be out of the question. This model is up mostly under a half inch, but you can see North Platte around an inch. So again, some spots are going to get over an inch, but those will be very localized. Most places will be under an inch of snowfall. How about the rainfall? Well, again, highest amounts of rain are probably going to be in central and eastern Nebraska on the front end of the system where there's going to be a little more moisture content available. Tri-Cities, 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 inch, but there are going to be some spots in eastern Nebraska somewhere, especially around thunderstorms, that might pick up over 1/2 inch of rain, maybe upwards of an inch of rain when it's all said and done. We're going to sneak in another mild day today, even despite the clouds increasing. Many of us getting into the 60s. It might make it to 70 in north central Kansas. Some 50s to the northwest, 40s way to the northwest. That colder air starting to sneak closer to our area. By tomorrow morning, we're a little chillier, 20s and 30s, and that wind's going to make it feel that much colder. That wind's going to be blowing tomorrow morning about 7 o'clock in the morning, which is about the time our lows happen, 7, 8 o'clock. We're going to see some strong north and northwest winds, and it's going to be tough to warm tomorrow. Highs tomorrow, mid to upper 30s and lower 40s. It's not going to be a very warm day for our Thursday, and you factor in the it's going to be a little bit blustery out there. It's just going to make it feel that much colder. By Thursday night, here comes the chilly stuff. Teens and 20s for overnight lows. After midnight, small chance of snow favoring far southern Nebraska, northern Kansas. It won't be much. As we get into the daytime hours on Friday, there's still a small chance of moisture in far southern Nebraska, northern Kansas. Might mix in some rain with that snow if we can warm up enough. We're looking at highs in the mid to upper 30s and low 40s again on your Friday, so it's not going to be a warm day on Friday either. That precipitation, if we even see it, would be very minimal, would be out of here by Friday night. That'll take us into a nicer weekend ahead of us here. So you see the next 3 days, kind of summing that up. Again, rain chances, slight chance after 3 p.m., better chances after dark, wrapping up by probably about no later than about 3 or 4 o'clock in the Tri-Cities. Maybe a few snowflakes, but no accumulating snow expected. Chilly and blustery tomorrow. Chilly but not as blustery Friday. Small chance of light snow, maybe mixing in some rain late Thursday night after midnight through the day on Friday. It's only a 20% chance. Amounts will be minuscule, barely worth a mention. Then as we look at the long-range forecast, nicer Saturday, around 50, mostly sunny skies. 50s on Sunday, still mostly sunny. Partly cloudy as a next storm system approaches on Monday, but we're still going to try to make it into the 50s ahead of that system. And then right now, major question marks as we look towards Monday night into Tuesday. All forecast models start to bring in colder air and some wind, but the strength of this storm system and the exact placement of it still a major question mark. So, with that said, I'm going to give you a look at a couple of forecast models. None of these are what's going to happen. It just gives you an idea of what we're facing. Anything from this one here, which is the European forecast model, which really doesn't have much moisture with that storm system rolling through here Monday into Tuesday. It'll get colder, but we're not going to see much moisture with this one, according to the European forecast model. But then there's the GFS forecast model, which has been very consistent on bringing a major storm system into the area Monday night into Tuesday, and would bring us in line with a good snow, a tightly wound area of low pressure, bringing in strong north winds on the backside of the system. So blowing snow would be a problem if this solution were to happen Monday night into Tuesday, and then kind of winding down overnight Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Yes, this would mean big time snow, but I am not set on this one being the solution. I'm not saying this is going to happen because, again, you see it. That forecast model, or there's this one. Again, they are so far apart from each other, there's no way in heck that I can really tell you which one's going to happen. We're just too far out, and there's just no model consistency to tell me that I can lean one way or the other. And that said, if I were to lean one way or the other, I would probably at this time stay towards this one here, which would give us the minor snow impacts at most, probably not much. I just can't say it with certainty that this is going to happen. But I'm leaning away from the major snowstorm at this time. But because Tuesday is getting so close to Thanksgiving, we're only a few days out by that point, I have to at least mention the possibility that we might have to dig out a snowfall sometime around the middle of next week. Not saying it's going to happen for sure, just saying that there is the possibility there. Watch the forecast over the next couple of days. We will get more confidence as we get closer. It always plays out this way. We gain more confidence as we get closer to the day of that forecast. Two more things I'll mention. One forecast thing I'll mention is the forecast high trends. Again, I talked about how it's going to get colder. A lot of that depends on which system plays out, to be honest. Now we're going to go from mild today to chillier the next couple of days, warming back up this weekend through Monday, and then we slip back on Tuesday. And then through most of next week, it's going to be back below average. How cold it gets, that depends on which forecast model. This model is leaning towards, those last 3 days there, basically the 27th, 28th, and 29th, that is basically those numbers, the European forecast model, which would not be as cold. If we get this major snowstorm that comes through, it's going to be much colder than this, including Thanksgiving and Black Friday. It just depends on which way it plays. Like I said, I'm leaning European forecast around right now, so I'm staying with the not as cold forecast. Chillier, but not as cold right now. So that's kind of the way I'm thinking, but again, this is going to change. Watch the forecast the next couple of days. One other thing that looks fairly likely, it looks like a wet game for the Huskers this weekend. They're traveling all the way east. The final game, that the one place they haven't been to in the Big Ten yet since they joined the Big Ten, is Maryland. Well, they're finally going to go there here, College Park, Maryland, which is just to the northeast of Washington, D.C. In fact, from those press boxes that you see in that picture there, you can see the Capitol building off in the distance. Looks rather wet there in Lincoln or in College Park. We will see nice sunny conditions here. It's It's going to be a chilly, wet day there in Maryland. The timing of the rain's still a little iffy, but it looks like the best chance timing-wise is during the afternoon hours, although much of that rain may linger into the evening. So lining up perfectly with when the game is going on, which is 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time on the Big Ten Network. So we'll see if rain affects the game. It could certainly affect the game, especially the passing game. It might be a slick ball, and if you know anybody or if you yourself, it might be traveling east to this destination, the D.C. area. Plan on getting wet and dress appropriately if you're going to be heading to the game. All right, that's the last graphic I'm going to show you here. Going to wrap things up. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Enjoy your Wednesday. Enjoy this one last mild day because it's going to cool down for a few days here. And you know what? Enjoy the moisture we get. It won't be terribly bad. I don't think we're going to see heavy amounts of rainfall. The snow up northwest, I know that's not a great thing, but you know what? We're getting to that time of the year. And again, keep an eye on the forecast for next week. We'll keep updating you over the next couple of days as we gain more confidence. Until then, take care, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.